I'm sorry for saying that I still couldn't be with you back in Odaiba. After you moved, I just felt so sad and lonely. I love you so much. Oh, I'm dreaming. Bro! This series, man! Dude, this series is like the biggest troll ever, man. Like, it is legitimately something else. Because you know what's even better than this latest chapter of Rent a Girlfriend? The fact that we have season 5 officially announced with its own new key visual illustration that honestly looks really good. And I want to take a moment to really just say something. Your favorite anime might not ever get a season 2. Hell, it might not ever get a season 5. But you know what? We'll get a season 5 and get many more seasons afterwards. Rent a Girlfriend. You know, love it or hate it, say whatever you want about the series, it's popular. And this is a very tough pill for a lot of people to swallow. It's one of those series that is, I'm not even joking, like, just throwing aside my bias, okay, and frustration and anger and all that with the manga, the anime legitimately is really good. Like, it looks good, the voice acting's good, the animation's good, it's just, it faithfully adapts the series. It's legitimately, like, anyone that is an anime fan and has, like, their favorite series, like, from manga or light novel game or whatever, and they want to see it adapted into an anime, they could only dream of the amount of love and attention that Rent-A-Girlfriend gets. It's crazy. It's actually insane. And it's one of those rare series that gets literally 5 seasons. Like, dude, you realize how many series out there, so many good, phenomenal stories and stuff with romance and everything, never even get a season 2, never get a season 3 or 4 or whatever. But the fact that Rent-A-Girlfriend has gotten not 4, but 5 seasons now, and we're finally going to be getting to this infamous panel adapted soon. And I want to put this in perspective. This is in the 200s, okay? We have 300, okay, and 90 chapters to adapt still, okay, and the series is still ongoing, so factoring in everything, there is like another 5 seasons technically of content worth adapting still. There's more content, 3 to 5 seasons left, and I'm just like, dude, Rent a Girlfriend legitimately might become one of the longest running rom-coms for anime. Like, think about that. I don't know necessarily what is the longest in the history. Like, I know there's series that are way longer, like One Piece, obviously. But I'm thinking, like, I wonder what the longest rom-com series is, like, episode count-wise. Because Rent a Girlfriend is definitely getting up there. I mean, if it continues to get these anime adaptations, these sales continue to skyrocket and get a lot better, hell, it actually might break a record. It actually might be the king of rom-coms. Now, a lot of people might not want to accept that, but the popularity is pretty apparent, which that gets into the next thing, okay? I think it's really obvious at this point, especially looking at chapter 393, that the author of Rent a Girlfriend is probably one of the biggest trolls I have ever seen. Like, there's some trolls, okay? There's some troll offers that really just love to mess with their fan base. But I really think that the author of this series knew 100% what they were doing at the beginning of this chapter. And what's even crazier is that this is like a celebration chapter, apparently, like for like an anniversary or something. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that one. But, like, regardless, after everything that's happened in, like, the last 10 to 15 chapters, okay, you have this entire chapter just start off with, like, Chizuru opening up, or being at the door, Kazuya opening up the door to Chizuru, and Chizuru's, like, confessing to him, straight up kisses him, puts him to the floor and all that, they're smooching it out, and then, like, she just straight up confesses to him, you have this cute face, beautiful artwork, by the way, and you're just like, wait, whoa, is this actually happening? And then you see him wake up, and you're like, like, you know the offer is cackling. They're cackling, like, when they're sitting at their desk, okay? And he's got, like, his pencils and stuff, or digital drawing, or whatever. You know he's sitting there cackling to himself, laughing, while he's like, my fans are gonna love this. They're gonna be angry. They're gonna be frustrated. See you next week. Dude, I love it, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I have a love and hate relationship with this series. I, like, legitimately, I'm not even gonna joke, this series makes me extremely angry, okay? There's so much frustration it gives me. But as I said even last week in previous videos, it's one of those series that I keep coming back to, not because it is a very slow-moving train wreck, but because it invokes these emotions within me. Even if it's frustration, it is interesting just seeing the hole that these characters go into, and how they continue to dig the hole deeper, and how the author clearly knows what they're doing. Because the author is a good writer. Like, when he wants to be, he can do some really good writing. We have seen examples of this, for instance. But it's just, you know he's doing this because it's popular. He's making money. He's got 5 seasons. Like, this man's getting loaded. Like, he legitimately is loaded as an author. So, all memes aside, Rent-A-Girlfriend, man, continues winning. You love it. You hate it. It just continues to fall upward. That's really what happens. So, what's your guys' thoughts, honestly, on that? Like, what's your thoughts on this, like, Season 5 announcement set for 2026, by the way? We don't have an actual air date yet, like, besides 2026, but if I had to take a guess, it's probably going to be around in, spring of next year. That's my guess, maybe summer, but I'm really inclined to believe it is spring. But, let's get back into the latest chapter before, anything else. So we gotta talk about the cliffhanger of chapter 393. Mommy is looking at, driving school. And this entire chapter sets up quite the controversy. And what I mean by that is that Mommy is a character within Rent-A-Girlfriend that drives the plot forward. She is one of those characters when she is in the story, she always gives momentum. Something really big happens, the story finally progresses to some degree, even if it's a few centimeters or an inch, the story does progress. Mommy is a, I guess, plot device, but a plot mover. She's a really good character. Regardless if people hate her, regardless of her origins and everything and personality, she is a good character because she does drive the story. And at the end of the chapter, it's very clear that she's going to have a meeting with Kazuya. And Kazuya's wanting to go to driver school. His goal is to get a license and stuff to be able to drive and have like a driving date with Chizuru. And obviously with him wanting to get a license and all that, he's going to be meeting Mommy. I mean, we see this literally at the end of the chapter. So what does this necessarily mean for the story? Well, what's going to happen is, most likely, someone a part of Kazuya's group is going to recognize him. They're going to recognize Mommy, and he's going to assume, or people are going to assume, that Kazuya and Mommy are back together, of some degree. Something like that's going to happen. And this is going to get to Chizuru. Chizuru is going to get a misunderstanding, but obviously, she has no right to get upset after everything she's been doing to him for weeks, months, technically since the beginning of the story. But she's going to hear about it, and she's probably going to get with the other guy. That's basically the author's self-insert. And most likely she's going to have, like, some form of date with him or something to kind of piss off Kazuya. And then Kazuya's going to see it, and then there's going to be some drama between the characters. That's definitely where the story is going. That is the direction right now I can clearly see. And anyone that doesn't see that, I don't know what to say, because it's very apparent. Rent-A-Girlfriend does use a lot of cliches and tropes, and there's nothing wrong with that, so to speak. But it's just, regardless if you see it coming, it is interesting to see the dumpster fire of how it's actually going to go down. But yeah, that's where the story's clearly going. I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not a mind reader, but as someone that has read a lot of stories and just looking at context clues, that's what's gonna happen. But, yeah, I just... Rent-A-Girlfriend, man. Oh my goodness, what a series. It's one of those series I enjoy talking about on the channel, despite my frustrations, and it seems like a lot of you guys enjoy my suffering, so I guess it's a win-win situation, a mutual relationship between all of us. I'm gonna leave it at that. When more information comes out on the next chapter, chapter 394, I will obviously cover it, because it's, like I said, it's become fun. It's become very fun discussing this. But okay, if you enjoyed the video, do leave a like, leave a comment. It helps with the algorithm. Subscribe as well if you want more of my content. Chibi out.